Okay, let's go back in and work on our bridge here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to actually start editing our bridge and cutting out all these unnecessary pieces. If we were going to laser cut this, we would want to keep these pieces because you can see we can actually manipulate them and change our design. But we're just going to be creating a 3D design with this, so we're not going to need those. So what we're going to want to do is go down to your history on the bottom. You can see it says Sketch 3 unsaved. So I'm going to right click on that, go up to Edit Sketch, click that once, and it gives me the ability to go back in my history and edit my sketch. I'm going to actually cut a whole bunch of pieces out of here. So I'm going to click on the scissor tool up on the top here. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to start to snip out unnecessary pieces. So I'm just going to go through here, and I want essentially, I think there's a piece on the corner here. I want to make these corners clean. So I'm just going to go in and snip out all the pieces that are kind of cluttering up my design here. So I'm just going to quickly move through. Now, what is going to happen here probably a lot while you're doing this is you make a mistake and you actually might snip out one of your supports. So if you do that, just ensure that you hit Control Z. I find you have to hit Control Z generally twice to get back to where you were, or get that piece back to where it was placed before. I wonder if I'm going to make a mistake by cutting off a piece here. Actually, I did. You can see right there I did. So I'm just going to hit Control Z. I actually cut a piece over at the start. You can see right there. I cut it a little bit hastily. So just ensure that you're taking your time and going through and slicing out only the pieces that you don't need. I've got some hanging on pieces right there. There we go. That looks a lot cleaner right there. That's a clean joint. So same thing here. I'm just going to zoom in and quickly snip through all of the pieces that I do not require. Okay, just about done. I think we just got one more piece up on the top here, and then we'll be done. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now once we've got all of our pieces removed, now don't remove your center line here because you will need that to mirror this object. So what we're going to do now is we're going to duplicate, mirror this piece over to save us some time. So we're going to click on Create here. We're going to go down to Mirror right here. And it is important, there's two ways to mirror. If you drag from the top left down, it's only going to mirror the pieces that that entire square covers. So the way we're going to mirror, I'm going to click Cancel here, is Create, go down to Mirror. We're going to mirror from clicking down here and going up from the bottom right corner up. So if you watch, this is a different selection process. So if I go like this, it actually selects the entire model. So from the bottom right corner back, not from the top left corner down. Make sure you select correctly or it will not do what you want. So it says, what is the mirror line? I've selected 32 lines. The mirror line is this straight up and down line right here. And now we basically duplicated it. We've got our other side. So that's great. I'm going to click OK. Now, this is okay, but you can see I can only highlight these triangle pieces here, which is not what we want. We want to be able to highlight these pieces right here. So I'm going to zoom in and see where my problem is. Okay, so first up, I see that right here there is a gap, and this gap is stopping me from creating a face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on Modify. I'm going to go to Extend. I'm going to extend that gap up, and I'm going to extend that up. And you can see it turns that light blue color, and that's what I want. When everything's that light blue color, I can select it. Show you what I mean here. If I select that, you can see I can select my entire bridge here. And then from here, we can go into our 3D design component. Okay, so looking good. So one more thing we're going to want to think about is our planks that are going to run across our bridge. So to do that, we are going to use a tool called a pattern tool. So let's go up to the top up here. I'm still in sketch mode, which is good. I can click out, and I'm going to use this square right here. I'm going to zoom in, and I think trial and error this a bit, but I think I'm going to run a square right in the middle here, and this is where I'm going to place my planks across. So to do that, I'm going to click my sketch palette and I'm going to open that up. You can see there's my options, and there's different types of rectangle tools you can use. I'm going to use a center rectangle, which is that one right here. So I'm going to click on that. Essentially what that means is when I click on this center line here, it will grow out from the center, which is what we want. Now dimension wise, we're not super concerned about it. I'm going to say, let's make this, I don't know, 10 mils. Actually, we won't make it 10 mils high. We'll make it 7 mils high, about that height. And then the actual size of our slats that way, let's make them 15 mils across. Okay, so I'm going to click that once, and that's going to set that rectangle there. Now we want to rather than putting these individually in, we want to push this out as a pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click my select tool right here. I'm going to click on create. I'm going to go down to where it says rectangular pattern. Click that once, and I'm going to go right into my square. I'm going to double click it, and it's going to select the entire square. It goes that nice light blue color. And all I'm going to do is, you can see there are some options over here. Distance type, quantity, direction type, one direction. Now we don't want, let's bump this up to, let's just try 9. And rather than one direction, let's do it symmetrically. So when I bump out this way, it bumps out the opposite way. You can see, I mean, you can pull up too, but we only want to go left and right. So I might have made too many. So let's just pull this out. That's not bad. I'm going to pull this out. I don't think I'm going to go 9. I think I'm going to go 8. You can play around with this number here till you get the exact size you want. Now I don't want it hitting those struts. So I'm going to try maybe 6. There we go. That might be a lot better. 6 looks reasonable. Okay, so when I say not hitting the struts, I mean I don't want that. You can see that square right there is hitting this cross brace, and we don't want it hitting the cross brace. We want it to be in the center. So it looks like 6 is my magic number for that. Although I'm not running 1 on the end here, so let's go 7. There we go. So I've got 7. I've got 1 on the end. Okay, this looks good. So I'm going to click OK, and that's going to place all of these squares where I want them. Now, we have to do a little bit of cleanup on these squares because they are not exactly ready for 3D design yet. So we're going to click on our little tool right there, our clip tool, and we're just going to, same thing, we're going to go across and we're just going to clip off the unnecessary top of the square, which we do not need because we will be extruding these and sending these out across the bridge span once we are done. So I'm just going to finish these off. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Okay, so our bridge is almost ready to extrude. What we're going to do now is we're just going to click on Finish Sketch so we can take a look at our sketch. Now, a bit hard to see. Doesn't look very 3D right now, so I'm just going to click on the top icon, the square right there, and we're going to pull these pieces out. Now, I don't like these 2 weird little lines here, so I'm going to go back into edit my sketch. On my history, I'm going to clip these 2 lines out. So I'm going to click on the scissor tool, clip out. There we go. I'm going to finish my sketch now. Now this looks a lot cleaner. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you can click anywhere inside this here, and it'll turn that all blue. It'll turn that nice blue color. And we are going to extrude this. So to extrude, it's like this kind of cube-looking icon up on the top. Under Create, you can see there's also Extrude right there, or hit E on your keyboard. So we're going to extrude it, and it gives you a distance. We're going to do, I don't know how thick we want to make this. Let's just make it 6 mils. So we're going to extrude it out 6 mils, and then I'm going to hit Enter. And then you can see we have our very basic span for our bridge here. our basic 3D model for our bridge. Okay, so now once we've got one 3D model, it's pretty easy to make another one. So all we need to do is we're going to be selecting this, doubling it up, and then building some supports, some slats out this way that will allow us to lay the piece of wood across and then place the weight on it. So we'll do that in the next video.